welcome to the Giraffe Social Media Podcast. It's what social media managers are talking about. I'm Laura, and today I'm joined by some amazing members of the Giraffe team. We've got Senior Social Media Manager Dom.
Hello.
Social Media Assistant Chloe.
Hi.
And an extra special guest appearance from our Head of Operations, Kate.
Hello.
As always, in our coffee break episodes, we all bring a topic to the table that we want to have a natter about and get each other's thoughts on. I've got a question to get us started, and since today we're going to be talking about all things memes, I thought I would ask you, what is your favourite meme, or just a meme that's really stood out to you? Chloe, do you want to start us off?
This was so hard to narrow it down to one, but a recent favorite of mine is any text over the image. You know, it's a woman at a dinner party and she's scream crying at that cat who's hissing at her. If you know, you know. But just any meme that has that image just gets me every time.
Love that. Good choice. Kate, what about you?
My first instinct was to go with something like winter is coming, but then I realized I've never used that one, so I thought I can't really choose a meme that I've never actually used myself. So I'd have to say my favorite is the one of the little dog. He's sat there at the table with his coffee mug out in front of him, and there's he's surrounded by fire, and there's all the smoke up top, and then it goes to the second screen. It's comic book style. It goes to the second screen, and he's like, "This is fine."
Yeah.
That is such a good one.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Dom, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for a couple of them. One is the Drake one where he's there's two pictures of him, and I'm not, you know what, I might as well just show it. Sorry for the people on the podcast who won't be able to see it, but he's that, and then the next one he's okay, yeah, that choice, you know? Do you know what I'm on about?
Yes.
And then the next one is that Homer meme where he's backing into the bush. That's always a classic.
Yes. Yeah.
Good choices, Dom.
Yes.
So I also found this very difficult. I think because memes are just so integrated into our social platforms, we just see them all the time. But my favourites are a bunch of The Office ones. Just anything to do with The Office just instantly makes me laugh. And there's one in particular where they're parkour, where they're parkouring, and it's
Yes.
when you go up the stairs two at a time, it's parkour. And it makes me laugh because I think there are times in my life when I have genuinely parkoured, not serious obviously, where I've I don't know, jumped on a chair and parkoured. So the best. Anything to do with The Office as well, it's always a winner. So today, as I said, we are going to be talking about all things memes. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know necessarily how to define a meme. So I did a little bit of research, and to find that a meme is defined as a humorous image that is copied with slight variations and shared across the internet. Which, yeah, I would agree that's what a meme is. Yeah, very textbook. Funny pictures and jokes are obviously enjoyed by all, but are they actually important in social media communication? I would argue yes. Social media users love visual content, and the algorithms of many social sites prioritize visual content over text-based content, so I think that's probably one of the main reasons why meme content works so well. And apparently viewers are actually 6 times as likely to remember a message if it's paired with a relevant visual than text alone. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
There you go.
There you go. So, Dom, I think you were going to have a little discussion about memes and driving results. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, definitely. That statistic that you just said is really shows how memes can be really beneficial to your social media strategy, especially if you're struggling with like low engagement and maybe a bored audience, you're constantly just promoting sales type related posts all the time. Then maybe you're going to need to start incorporating a bit of humor to enhance that brand loyalty and increase some audience connection, get people engaging with your content. What a meme allows you to do is like capitalize on like people's emotions and like their past personal experiences. We've all seen a meme that we've resonated once in our lifetimes, and you end up engaging it, or you tag a friend, and what that does for that brand is that people are going to become more, one, you're reaching more audiences, new audiences, and people are going to actually start seeing your brand and maybe looking more in detail about your brand. Effective way to collect actions, and a very powerful tool if you are struggling to connect with new audiences and expand your targeted audience. Memes are cheap, don't take very long to make, so very good in terms of investment with memes. Get like quite a good return considering in terms of engagement levels, reach. Help showcase your brand's personality a bit, allowing a bit more of a unique opportunity to sort of like be a bit more human with, the content that you're putting out there, a bit more authentic with your brand voice. And like I sort of said, like memes help generate more engagement because they sort of draw on a user's emotions. So you're going to start seeing higher levels of, engagement levels on your content. You're going to see more shares, and even maybe you'll end up seeing more website traffic. People are going to start remembering your brand a lot more. It's what memes can help achieve. And increased chance of your, I guess, memes going viral. I mean, I don't tend to like using the word viral, but most cases things that go viral are memes. So when you look at new platforms like TikTok, most of the things on there are sort of humorous content. So if you're playing on that, you're probably likely to achieve good results in terms of building more engagement and more brand awareness for your platform. So get more of an engaged audience for sure. And when you start incorporating that with influencers, mixing that even within like ads, maybe in your conversion strategy. I know from past experiences, using a bit of humor, a bit of meme related content in conversion ads has always worked well. You can always help to drive that quality engagement or the quality of like your creative. It tends to do better the more that people can resonate with the creative that you're producing. So I mean, there's a number of areas in which memes can actually help. Although I would say a mixture of memes and like other types of content as well. Like if you're just doing memes all the time, then maybe you want to mix up a little bit. But
I don't know. I follow like there's brands like Pretty Little Thing and Missguided who on Facebook, I'm pretty sure they're just pure meme pages now. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw them post about a product, maybe on Instagram, but their Facebook is just pure memes, and it's great.
I always think, like, memes offer a connection between a brand and users, as they sort of give the brand an opportunity to make reference to an established joke that kind of everyone knows about and be part of that, rather than just posting about products all the time or it being a sales pitch all the time. Obviously the whole point of social media is to be social, and I think like memes are the center of that. Okay, I don't know if you want to sort of expand on that and the importance of visual media.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, all visual media is super important when it comes to social media. I mean, this is maybe a question that will age me a bit, but do you guys remember the days when people used to update their Facebook with like word-only statuses that were like, Kate Eisted is ... doing the laundry. I feel like that was early days, so I don't know if you guys are a bit younger than me. But it's laughable now, isn't it? Like thinking about, but that was how everybody used to update their statuses. I mean, nowadays, if you have a Word, a copy only status, it's so likely that it's just going to get lost in all the other noise, right? So your posts have to have some sort of visual element in that, whether that's, you know, a meme, a GIF, some emojis. I think social media is all about finding your community, and the way you do that is by making connections and using visual elements like memes or even GIFs or emojis. They're like a language that is universally understood, because even if you don't speak the same language, you know, lots of people have seen, you know, a lot of memes are based on movies and TV shows, and people have seen them, but in their own language. So they sort of get the context behind it, even if maybe like the written copy that's on top of the image isn't a language they understand. They sort of get the context behind it. And I think that makes them like really shareable and really shareable globally. So I think that's kind of an element where it's really critical. I think the other side of things is that I think our attention spans have just like gone completely down. I mean, they say now that like our attention span is like, it's like seconds long. It's like goldfish now have like longer attention spans than humans. And so I think people need to communicate faster. So like for brands, you know, we know that when you're making videos and things, like people are only watching sort of the first, you know, you've got like 9 seconds or something to capture people's attention. So visual elements like memes have the ability to like quickly communicate, which is really beneficial when we've got really short attention spans. And I think that's why our language and our communication styles have evolved to become more visual.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. When I even think about like my own behavior when I'm scrolling through social, there's actually times when like my attention span is so short that I scroll past something that I'm actually interested in and actually have to go back and look at it, because it's like my attention span was just too short to even capture the fact that I was interested in it. It wasn't until after I was like, actually no, I want to see that. Why did I scroll past it?
Yeah, it's like those you know, I see a lot of like new like journalism websites, whether it's, you know, the Guardian or BBC or whatever, or, you know, some other blog. You know, when at the very top of the article it often says like 2-minute read, 5-minute read, and I'm like, that's really actually very handy, because you're absolutely right. Even when it's topics, like it's news articles that I'm really interested by, like really like good quality journalism, I still sometimes find I'll like start reading it, and then a few minutes in I'm like, oh. And I just get kind of, like lost. And like I love reading and I'm interested in these things, but for whatever reason, you know, it's like I need more visual elements to be able to kind of track me, keep me there.
For sure, for sure. So Chloe, what do you think makes a meme?
Oh my goodness. I mean, the lines are so blurred these days when it comes to memes. I was having a think before we started recording, and I had a bit of a crisis where I was like, I can't even think of what a meme is. Like, typically you'd go straight to, oh, it's an image with text, but that is so, like, it's not that anymore. Like, I think maybe for the older generations, when I first joined Facebook or the internet itself, it was like a static image with bold text over it. But, you know, slowly it turned into just like phrases like catch me outside, like that's a meme and all you have to do is say it. And now, like with Gen Z and TikTok, it's as little as like a physical movement or a song, like a clip from a song. So it's changed a lot over the years, and I don't think like there's a clear-cut definition anymore. I think it's just like kind of ties in with whatever's trending. But that, yeah, so that's kind of how I would define it, is just like something that everyone, like you're in on the joke, like as a culture and as a population, like we're kind of in on this like joke. But I've kind of noticed myself, I had to like call myself out, and I was like, so much of my personality and the things that I say in day-to-day life are just memes. Like, I don't think I'm even a person at this point. I think I'm just like regurgitating like TikTok sayings and like famous quotes and things like that. So like drag race quotes and things. So it's kind of scary to sit down and really just like think about it. But yeah.
I think it's a good point, Chloe. Like, you know, I do feel like there are some days where I will have conversations with people and it's literally just like gifs back and forth and it's like whole conversations, you know, like we'll be talking the whole day and it's literally just gifs. There's no actual like typing being done. And it's
Yeah.
like it's a real productive connection.
Yeah.
But it's all based in gifs.
Definitely. But I think that's kind of like the good thing about memes nowadays, right? Is that you can have like a full political conversation or like really like put yourself out there or your opinions out there through a meme, which is kind of, I think, why they're so relatable is that like you could, you know, put a meme out about your mental health or how you're feeling and it's still kind of funny and relatable, but it says something and a lot of people relate to that. So I think it's quite cool how we've come from cats typing on computers and finding that hilarious to actually kind of being able to have these real conversations with people around us through like TikToks or me doing this. I don't know what that means, but I think it's a meme. I don't know.
No, definitely. And I think another sort of point about memes is the caption that goes with them. Like particularly on Instagram, like captions on Instagram can drive engagement when they're done well. And this is often where memes I've seen like tend to succeed because captions of memes are short, simple, making them really easy to read. Whilst users are obviously scrolling through their feed and our attention spans are little to none. So I would always say like for any meme content, keep captions like brief, so because then as well, like as I say, particularly on Instagram, like the whole caption is displayed and sometimes you don't even really need a caption that like explains the meme or anything. It's just like, can you relate, or you know, your reaction when, or you know, things like that that just again make it easily relatable for a user.
Yeah, and I think to go off that point, like it's really cool nowadays how you don't even necessarily have to like post an image of a meme. It could just purely be in your copy. So you could be posting an image of your product and it could be like that feeling when, or you know, like that kind of thing. Like the copy itself is memey, and you get engagement through that while not even having to like post like a silly picture or something. So I think that's cool when brands can really like bring the two worlds together.
So getting memes right can be a little tricky, but we do have some top tips for successful memes. If you don't mind, I'll get us started with top tip number 1, which I would say is make sure you target your customers. So ensure that you actually know your audiences and your audience's sense of humor before begin posting, because you don't want to offend anyone potentially that might be following. I mean, let's face it, you can easily offend people nowadays, but just making sure that you know your target audience enough to know what's appropriate to post on your brand page or your client's brand page, I would say, is pretty good tip. I don't know if you guys have any tips to share.
I would say whenever we talk about memes, like I always want to say, like, don't force it. Like, you don't have to jump on every viral meme that comes out. Like, if it doesn't fit your brand, maybe just like sit it out, because we know things come and go so quickly these days. I'm sure there'll be another one next week that will like perfectly apply to your brand. So if you have to force it, maybe don't, because I think like the point of a meme is that it's relatable to your audience. So if you're just kind of pumping them out as they come and go, your audience is kind of going to lose interest because you're not staying relevant and true to them. So that would be my tip.
I agree, and I think off the back of that is actually don't overuse memes in general. I mean, unless you are specifically like a meme page, you know, using them strategically and in the right places at the right time. I think if you're a brand and you're trying to convey, you know, information about your brand, if you're, you know, rolling into too many memes, they can kind of get a bit tired, a bit overused. And I think it can also cause people to sort of question whether you've just kind of moved into a sort of a joke casual page, or whether you're still like a professional business that is trying to communicate about your business and engage an audience around the products or services that you offer. So definitely, use them strategically and don't overuse memes for sure.
No, good point. Good point. Dom?
Yeah, one of my top tips would be mix it up. You don't always just have to use, the image and a bit of text on the top, like we've been talking about. With platforms like TikTok nowadays, there's so many opportunities to use video forms, GIFs, even polls, questionnaires, anything. Just make a meme out of it, and keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. No, love that. Thank you guys for your top tips. It's now time for feeds to follow. As you all know, this is the bonus segment at the end of each coffee break episode where we all recommend a feed we think you should be following. Dom, I don't know if you want to start us off with your recommended feed to follow.
Yes, Great British Memes. That's it's a good one. They basically just take what people have tweeted, and it could be anything relatable to the UK pretty much, or just anything in general, food, and it most of the time is very relatable, and there's some good content there, so that's what I recommend. It's literally just Great British Memes, I think, is their tag, so yeah.
Great British Memes. Cool. Chloe, what about you?
Ooh, continuing with the meme theme, mine is kind of niche, but it's an Instagram account called Virgo's Humor, which I'm sure they have one for every astrological sign if you want to get in on it. But they basically just post memes about life as a Virgo, and super relatable, just calls me out constantly, and I love it. So definitely check them out on Instagram.
Amazing. Thank you. Kate, what about you?
This was a real struggle, and I've come in with a last minute one, which I don't know if it's a real meme one, but my first one was Epic Funny Page. It's just a load of memes. Some of them are good, some of them are less good, but as are memes just generally. But the other one I realized that I actually do follow quite religiously, and I don't know if this falls under specifically meme category, but Texts from Last Night.
I know what you mean.
Which is always good for a laugh, because it's just a human error gone wrong, humans gone wrong basically, so that's always good for a laugh.
Love that. So mine is BarkBox on Instagram, and it's an Instagram account for a monthly dog treat box. Obviously dogs aren't included, unfortunately, but
New puppies.
their page is just full of dog themed memes, so I just feel like you can't really go wrong with that. Even though I'm probably not going to buy the monthly subscription box, I'm still going to follow, and I'm still going to engage with dog related memes, because
Wow.
the best.
That's a good example of a brand getting it right, because when you said BarkBox, I know it from influencers doing ads for them as a dog a dog food subscription box. So I was like, what? That's not a meme page, but there you go. If you add just the right amount of memes with just the right amount of spice, you've got followers who don't own dogs following you for dog memes.
Exactly. And you know what? They use memes of user generated content as well, which I just think is so good. Genius. Magic. Amazing. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. You can also connect with us on all major social channels and let us know what you thought about today's topic. We've been Giraffe Social Media. You've been amazing. We'll see you next time.